are reading, oh, hold on a minute. We are reading Lysistrata by Aristophanes, anonymous translator. Tonight, playing Lysistrata,
Sylvie Hartley.
playing Cleonice,
Rachael Schefrin.
playing Myrrhine,
Bove.
playing Lampito,
Jennifer Finger.
playing the Magistrates,
Marty Goldberg.
playing Cinesias,
Bernie Bosio.
playing Child of Cinesias,
Tiffany Research.
playing Herald of the Lacedaemonians.
Rachael Schefrin.
It's Michael Janove.
Oh, and right, you're the envoys of the Lacedaemonians.
Well, I'm still Michael Janove.
Michael, do you want to take both?
I'll do whatever you want. Who am I now?
Michael, why don't you take Herald and Envoys? And I'll
Herald.
use this one.
Oh, I got to get a whole nother costume. Of course.
All right, so let me take this out of here. And say, okay. And then we have an Athenian citizen
Tiffany Research again.
and a chorus of old men
David Mackler.
and the chorus of old women.
Noelle McGrath.
Lysistrata, scene. At the base of the orchestra are two buildings, the house of Lysistrata and the entrance to the Acropolis. A winding and narrow path leads up the ladder. Between the two buildings is the opening of the cave of Pan. Lysistrata is pacing up and down in front of her house.
If only they had been invited to a Bacchic revelin, or a feast of Pan or Aphrodite or Genitalis. Why, the streets would have been impassable for the thronging tambourines. Now there's never a woman here. Ah, except my neighbor Kalaniki, whom I see approaching yonder. Good day, Kalaniki.
Good day, Lysistrata. But pray, why this dark, forbidding face, my dear? Believe me, you don't look a bit pretty with those dark, lowering brows.
Oh, Kalaniki, my heart is on fire. I blush for our sex. Man will have it. We are tricky and sly.
And they are quite right, upon my word.
Yet look you, when the women are summoned to meet for a matter of greatest importance, they lie in bed instead of coming.
Oh, they will come, my dear, but it's not easy. You know, for women to leave the house. One is pottering with her husband. Another is getting the servant up. A third is putting her child to sleep or washing the brat or feeding it.
But I tell you, the business that calls them here is far away more urgent.
And why do you summon us, dear Lysistrata? What is it all about?
About a big thing.
And is it thick, too?
Oh,
Yes, very thick.
And we are not all on the spot. Imagine.
Ah, if it were that what you suppose, that would never be an absentee. No, it concerns a thing I have turned about and about this way, and that's so many sleepless nights.
Something mighty fine and subtle for you to have turned it about so.
So fine. It means just this. Greece saved by the women.
By the women? Why, its salvation hangs on a poor thread then.
Our country's fortunes depend on us. It is with us to undo utterly the Peloponnesians.
That would be a noble deed, truly.
To exterminate the Boeotian to a man.
But surely you would spare the eels.
For Athens' sake, I will never threaten so foul a doom. Trust me for that. However, if the Boeotian and Peloponnesian women join us, Greece is saved.
How should women perform so wise and glorious an achievement? We women who dwell in the retirement of the household, clad in diaphanous garments of yellow silk and long flowing gowns, decked out with flowers and shod with dainty little slippers.
Ah, but those are the very sheet anchors of our salvation. Those yellow tunics, those sands and slippers, those cosmetic and transparent robes.
How so? Pray.
There is not a man will yield to a lance against another.
Quick, I will get me a yellow tunic from the dryers.
Or want a shield.
I'll run and put on a flowing gown.
Or draw a sword.
I'll haste and buy a pair of slippers this instant.
Now tell me, would not the women have done best to come?
Why? They should have flown here.
Oh, my dear, you'll see that like true Athenians, they will do everything too late. Why, there's not a woman come from the shore, not one from Salamis.
But I know for certain they embarked at daybreak.
And the dames from Acharni, why, I thought they would have been the very first to arrive.
The Theagenes' wife, at any rate, is sure to come. She has actually been to consult Hecate. But look, here are some arrivals, and there are more behind. Aha! Now, what countrywomen may they be?
They are from Anacara.
Yes, upon my word, 'tis a levy en masse of all the female population of Anagira.
Myrrhine enters, followed by other women.
Are we late, Lysistrata? Tell me, pray. What? Not a word?
I cannot say much for you, Myrrhine. You have not bestirred yourself overmuch for an affair of such urgency.
I could not find my girdle in the dark. However, if the matter is so pressing, here we are, so speak.
No, let's wait a moment more till the women from Boeotia arrive and those from the Peloponnese.
Yes, that's the best. Ah, here comes Lampito. Good day, Lampito, dear friend from Lacedaemon. How well and handsome you look. What a rosy complexion. And how strong you seem. Why, you could strangle a bull, surely.
Yes, indeed. I really think I could. It's because I did gymnastics and practiced the bottom kicking dance.
She opens Lampito's robe and bares her bosom.
And what superb breasts!
Why, you are feeling me as if I were a beast for sacrifice.
And this young woman, where is she from?
She is a noble lady from Boeotia.
Ah, my pretty Boeotian friend, you're as blooming as a garden.
Yes, on my word, and her garden is so thoroughly weeded too.
And who's this?
It's an honest woman by my face. She comes from Corinth.
Oh, honest, no doubt then, and honesty goes at Corinth.
But who has called together this council of women, pray?
I have.
Well then, tell us what you want of us.
Yes, please tell us. What is this very important business you wish to inform us about?
I will tell you, but first answer me one question.
Anything you wish.
Don't you feel sad and sorry because the fathers of your children are far away from you with the army? For I'll wager there is not one of you whose husband is not abroad at this moment.
Mine has been the last 5 months in Thrace, looking for Eucrates.
It's 7 long months since mine left for Pylos.
As for mine, if he ever does return from service, he's no sooner home than he takes down his shield again and flies back to the wars.
And not so much as the shadow of a lover. Since the day the Milesians betrayed us, I have never once seen an 8-inch gadget even, to be a leathern consolation to us poor widows. Now tell me, if I have discovered a means of ending the war, will you all second me?
Yes, verily. By all the goddesses, I swear I will. Though I have to put my gown in pawn and drink the money the same day.
And so will I, though. I must be split in two like a flatfish and have half myself removed.
And I too, why to secure peace, I will climb to the top of Mount to get us.
Then I will out with it at last, my mighty secret. Oh, sister women, if we could compel our husband to make peace, we must refrain.
Refrain? From what? Tell us.
But will you do it?
We will, though we should die of it.
We must refrain from the male altogether. Nay, why do you turn your backs on me? Where are you going? So you bite your lips and shake your heads, eh? Why these pale, sad looks? Why these tears? Come, will you do it? Yes or no? Do you hesitate?
I will not do it. Let the war go on.
Nor will I let the war go on.
And you say this, my pretty flatfish, who declared just now they might split you in two.
Anything but that. Bid me go through the fire, if you will, but to rob us of the sweetest thing in all the world, Lysistrata.
And you?
Yes, I agree with the others. I, too, would sooner go through the fire.
Oh, wanton, vicious sex! The poets have done well to make tragedies upon us. We are good for nothing then, but love and lewdness. But you, my dear, you from hardy Sparta, if you join me, all may yet well be well. Help me, second me, I beg you.
'Tis a hard thing, by the two goddesses it is, for a woman to sleep alone without ever a strong male in her bed, but there peace must come first.
Oh, my darling, my dearest best friend, you're the only one deserving the name of a woman.
But if, which of the gods forbid, we do refrain altogether from what you say, should we get peace any sooner?
Of course we should, by the goddess twain. We need only sit indoors with painted cheeks and meet our mates lightly clad in transparent gowns of amargos silk and perfectly depilated. They will get their tools up and be wild to lie with us. That will be the time to refuse, and they will hasten to make peace. I am convinced of that.
Yes, just as Menelaus, when he saw Helen's naked bosom, threw away his sword, they say.
But oh dear, suppose our husbands go away and leave us.
Then, as for Grace says, we must flay a skinned dog. That's all.
Fiddlesticks. These proverbs are all idle talk. But if our husbands drag us by main force into the bedchamber?
Hold on to the doorposts.
What if they beat us?
Then yield to their wishes, but with a bad grace. There is no pleasure in it for them when they do it by force. Besides, there are 1,000 ways of tormenting them. Never fear, they'll soon tire of the game. There is no satisfaction for a man unless the woman shares it.
Very well. If you must have it so, we agree.
For ourselves, no doubt we shall persuade our husbands to conclude a fair and honest peace. But there is the Athenian populace. How are we to cure these folk of their warlike frenzy?
Have no fear. We undertake to make our own people listen to reason.
That's impossible, so long as they have their trusty ships and the vast treasures stored in the temple of Athene.
Ah, but we have seen to that. This very day, the Acropolis will be in our hands. That's the task assigned to the older women. While we are here in council, they are going under pretense of offering sacrifice to seize the citadel.
Well said indeed. Everything is going for the best.
Come quick, Lampito, and let us bind ourselves by an inviolable oath.
Recite the terms. We will swear to them.
With pleasure. Where is our Scythian policewoman? Now, what are you staring at, pray? Lay this shield on the earth before us, its hollow upwards, and someone bring the victims inwards.
Strata, say, what oath are we to swear?
What oath? Why, in Aeschylus, they sacrifice a sheep and swear over a buckler. We will do the same.
No, Lysistrata, one cannot swear peace over a buckler, surely.
What other oath do you prefer?
Let's take a white horse and sacrifice it and swear on its entrails.
But where shall we get a white horse?
Well, what oath shall we take then?
Listen to me. Let's set a great black bowl on the ground. Let's sacrifice a skin of Thasian wine into it and take oath not to add one single drop of water.
Ah, that's an oath pleases me more than I can say.
Let them bring me a bowl and a skin of wine.
Ah, my dears, what a noble big bowl. Ah, what fun it will be to empty it.
Set the bowl down on the ground and lay your hands on the victim. Almighty Goddess, persuasion, and thou, bowl, boon comrade of joy and merriment, receive this our sacrifice and be propitious to us poor women.
As Lysistrata pours the wine into the bowl.
Oh, the fine red blood, how well it flows.
And what a delicious bouquet by Castor.
Now, my dears, let me swear first, if you please.
No, by Aphrodite, unless it's decided by lot. But come then, Lampito, and all of you, put your hands to the bowl, and do you, Cleonice, repeat all the rest of the solemn terms I'm going to recite. Then you must all swear and pledge yourselves by the same promises. I will have naught to do whether with a lover or husband.
I will have naught to do whether with lover or husband.
Albeit he come to me with an erection.
Be it he come to me with an erection. Oh, Lysistrata, I cannot bear it.
I will live at home unbulled.
I will live at home unbulled.
Beautifully dressed and wearing a saffron-colored gown.
Beautifully dressed and wearing a saffron-colored gown.
To the end, I may inspire my husband with the most ardent longings.
To the end, I may inspire my husband with the most ardent longings.
Never will I give myself voluntarily.
Never will I give myself voluntarily.
And if he has me by force,
And if he has me by force,
I will be cold as ice and never stir a limb.
I will be as cold as ice and never stir a limb.
I will neither extend my Persian slippers toward the ceiling,
I will neither extend my Persian slippers to the ceiling,
nor will I crouch like a carven lion's on a knife handle. Hoo, 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 hoo.
nor will I crouch like a lion's on a
And if I I keep my oath, may I be suffered to drink of this wine.
And if I keep my oath, may I be suffered to drink this wine.
But if I break it, let my bowl be filled with water.
But if I break it, let my bowl be filled with water.
Will you all take this oath?
We
We
do.
do.
No.
Then I'll now consume this remnant.
Enough, my dear. Now let's all drink to turn to cement our friendship.
They pass the cup around and all drink. A great commotion is heard off stage.
Listen, what do those cries mean?
It's what I was telling you. The women have just occupied the Acropolis. So now, Lampito, you return to Sparta to organize the plot, while your comrades here remain as hostages. For ourselves, let us go and join the rest in the citadel. And let us push the bolts well home.
But don't you think the men will march up against us?
I laugh at them. Neither threats nor flames shall force our doors. They shall open only on the conditions I have named.
Yes. By Aphrodite, otherwise we should be called cowardly and wretched women.
She follows Lysistrata out. The scene shifts to the entrance of Acropolis. The chorus of old men slowly enters, carrying faggots and pots of fire.
Go easy, Draces, go easy. Why, your shoulder is all chafed by these damned heavy olive stalks. But forward still, forward, man, as needs must. What unlooked for things do happen, to be sure, in a long life. Ah, Strymodorus, who would ever have thought it? Here we have the women who used, for our misfortune, to eat our bread and live in our houses, daring nowadays to lay hands upon the holy image of the goddess, to seize the Acropolis and draw bars and bolts to keep any from entering. Come, Phalergus, man, let's hurry there. Let's lay our faggots all about the citadel, and on the blazing pile burn with our hands these vile conspiratresses, one and all, and Lycon's wife first and foremost. Nay, by Demeter, never will I let them laugh at me, whilst I have a breath left in my body. Cleomenes himself, the first who ever seized our citadel, had quitted to his sore dishonor. Spite his Lacedaemonian pride, he had to deliver me up in his arms and slink off with a single garment to his back. My word, but he was filthy and ragged, and what an unkempt beard, to be sure. He had not had a bath for 6 long years. Oh, but that was a mighty siege. Our men were ranged 17 deep before the gate, and never left their posts even to sleep. These women, these enemies of Euripides, and all the gods, shall I do nothing to hinder their inordinate insolence? Else let them tear down my trophies of Marathon. But look, to finish this toilsome climb, only this last steep bit is left to mount. Truly, it's no easy job without beasts of burden, and how these logs do bruise my shoulder. Still, let us carry on and blow up our fire and see it does not go out just as we reach our destination. Whew, whew. Oh dear, what a dreadful smoke. It bites my eyes like a mad dog. It is Lemnian fire for sure, or it would never devour my eyelids like this. Come, Lachus, let's hurry. Let's bring succor to the goddess. It's now or never. Oh dear, what a confounded smoke. There now. There's our fire all bright and burning, thank the gods. Now, why not first put down our loads here, then take a vine branch, light it at the brazier, and hurl it at the gates by way of battering ram. If they don't answer our summons by pulling back the bolts, then we set fire to the woodwork, and the smoke will choke them. Ye gods, what a smoke! Is there never Samian general will help me unload my burden? Ah, it shall not gall my shoulder anymore. Come, brazier, do your duty. Make the embers flare that I may kindle a brand. I want to be the first to hurl one. Aid me, heavenly victory. Let us punish for their insolent audacity the women who have seized our citadel, and may we raise a trophy for success.
They begin to build a fire. The chorus of women now enters, carrying pots of water.
Oh, my dears, methinks I see fire and smoke. Can it be a conflagration? Let us hurry all we can. Fly, fly, Nicodice, ere Callis and Cretel perish in the fire, or are stifled in the smoke, raised by these accursed old men and their pitiless laws. But great gods, can it be I come too late? Rising at dawn, I had the utmost trouble to fill this vessel at the fountain. Oh, what a crowd there was, and what a din, what a rattling of water pots. Servants and slave girls pushed and thronged me. However, here I have it full at last, and I am running to carry the water to my fellow townsmen, whom our foes are plotting to burn alive. News has been brought us that a company of old doddering graybeards, loaded with enormous faggots, as if they wanted to heat a furnace, have taken the field, vomiting dreadful threats, crying that they must reduce to ashes these horrible women. Suffer them not, O goddess, but of thy grace, may I see Athens and Greece cured of their warlike folly. 'Tis to this end, O thou guardian deity of our city, goddess of the golden crest, that they have seized thy sanctuary. Be their friend and ally, Athene, and if any man hurl against them lighted firebrands, aid us to carry water to extinguish them. What is this I see, ye wretched old men? Honest and pious folk ye cannot be who act so vilely.
Aha! Here's something new. A swarm of women stand posted outside to defend the gates.
Fart at us, would you? We seem a mighty host, yet you do not see the 10,000th part of our sex.
Oh, Phaedrius, shall we stop their cackle? Suppose one of us were to break a stick across their backs, eh?
Let us set down our water pots on the ground to be out of the way, if they should dare to offer us violence.
Let someone knock out 2 or 3 teeth for them, as they did to Bupalis. They won't talk so loud then.
Come on, then. I wait you with unflinching foot, and no other bitch will ever grab your balls.
Silence, or my stick will cut short your days.
Now, just you dare to touch Stratilis with the tip of your finger.
And if I batter you to pieces with my fists, what will you do?
I will tear out your lungs and entrails with my teeth.
Oh, what a clever poet is Euripides. How well he says that woman is the most shameless of animals.
Let's pick up our water jars again, Rodipe.
Ah, you damned women. What do you mean to do here with your water?
And you, old death in life, with your fire. Is it to cremate yourself?
I'm going to build you a pyre to roast your female friends upon.
And I am going to put out your fire.
You put out my fire? You?
Yes, you shall soon see.
I don't know what prevents me from roasting you with this torch.
I am getting you a bath ready to clean off the filth.
A bath for me? You dirty slut.
Yes, indeed. A nuptial bath.
Do you hear that? What insolence!
I am a free woman, I tell you.
I will make you hold your tongue, never fear.
You shall never sit any more amongst the Heliasts.
Burn off her hair for her.
Archelaus, do your duty.
The women pitch the water in their water pots over the old men.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Was it hot?
Hot! Great gods! Enough, enough!
I'm watering you to make you bloom afresh.
Alas, I am too dry. Ah me, how I am trembling with cold.
A magistrate enters with a few Cynthian policemen.
Oh, these women have made it in enough. I wonder where with their tambourines. He wept Adonis enough upon their terraces. I was listening to the speeches last assembly day, and demonstratus, whom heaven confounded, was saying we must all go over to Sicily, and lo, his wife was dancing round, repeating, alas, alas, Adonis, woe is me for Adonis. Demonstratus was saying we must levy hoplites at Zacynthus, and there was his wife, more than half drunk, screaming on the house roof, weep, weep for Adonis, while that infamous mad ox was bellowing away on his side. Do you not blush, you women, for your wild and uproarious doings?
But you don't know all of their effrontery yet. They abused and insulted us, then soused us with the water in their water pots, and have set us wringing out our clothes for all the world as if we had be-pissed ourselves.
And well done too, by Poseidon. We men must share the blame of their ill conduct. It is we who teach them to love riot and dissoluteness, and sow the seeds of wickedness in their hearts. You see a husband go into a shop. Look, you jeweler, says he. You remember the necklace you made for my wife? Well, the other evening, when she was dancing, the catch came open. Now I am bound to start for a Salamis. Will you make it convenient to go up tonight and make it fastening for her secure? Another will go to the cobbler, a great strong fellow with a great long tool, and tell him the strap of one of my wife's sandals presses her little toe, which is extremely sensitive. Come in about midday to supple the thing and stretch it. Now see the results. Take my own case as magistrate. I have enlisted rowers. I want money to pay them, and the women slam the door in my face. But why do we stand here with arms crossed? Bring me a crowbar. I'll chastise their insolence. Oh, there, my fine fellow. To one of the Psychothians, what are we, you gaping about the cows for? Looking for a tavern. I suppose come on, bring crowbars here and force open the gates. I will put a hand to the work myself.
No need to force the gates. I'm coming out. Here I am. And my bolts and bars. What we want here is not bolts and bars and locks, but common sense.
Really, my fine lady, where is my officer? I want him to tie that woman's hands behind her back.
By Artemis, the virgin goddess, if he touches me with the tip of his finger, officers of the public peace though he be, let him look out for himself.
The first
Here
Scythian defecates in terror.
Here now, are you afraid? Seize her, I tell you, round the body. Two of you at her, and have done with it.
Fuck. By Pandarosos. Fuck. If you lay a hand on her, I'll trample you underfoot till the crap comes out of you.
The second Scythian defecates in terror.
Look at the mess you made. Where is there another officer? Bind that minx first, the one who speaks so prettily.
Why, Phoebe, if you touch her with one finger, you'd better call quick for a surgeon.
The third Scythian defecates in terror.
What's that? Where's the officer? Lay hold of her. Oh, but I'm going to stop your foolishness for you all.
By the Tauric Artemis, if you go near her, I'll pull out your hair, and scream as you like.
The fourth Scythian defecates in terror.
Ah, miserable man that I am. My own officers desert me. What ho! Are we to let ourselves be bested by a mob of women? Ho! How do you say that word?
Scythians.
Scythians mine. Close up your ranks and forward.
All cheated, you all have to imbibe.
Cheers.
Marty, I'm referring to you specifically.
All right. I got you. I got you covered.
Water, but you gotta do it.
Okay.
Yes.
By the holy goddesses, you'll have to make acquaintance with 4 companies of women, ready for the fray and well armed to boot.
Forward, Scythians, and bind them.
Forward, my gallant. Forward, my gallant companions, march forth, ye vendors of grain and eggs, garlic and vegetables, keepers of taverns and bakeries, wrench and strike and tear. Come, a torrent of invective and insult.
They beat the Scythians who retire in haste.
Enough now, retire. Never rob the vanquished.
The women withdraw.
How unfortunate for my officers.
So you thought you had only to do with a set of slave women. You did not know the ardor that fills the bosom of free-born dames.
Order, yes, by Apollo, order enough especially for the wine cup.
Sir, what good are words? They are of no avail with wild beasts of this sort. Don't you know they have just washed us down, and with no very fragrant soap?
What would you have? You should never have laid rash hands on us. If you start afresh, I'll knock your eyes out. My delight is to stay at home as coy as a young maid, without hurting anybody or moving any more than a milestone. But where the wasps if you go stirring up the wasp nest?
Ah, great gods! How get the better of these ferocious creatures? 'Tis past all bearing. But come, let us try to find out the reason of the dreadful scourge. With what end in view have they seized the citadel of Cleonice, the sacred shrine that is raised upon the inaccessible rock of the Acropolis? Question them. Be cautious and not too credulous. It would be culpable negligence not to pierce the mystery, if we may.
I would ask you first why you have barred our gates.
To seize the treasury. No more money, no more war.
Then money is the cause of war.
And of all our troubles. It was the fine occasion to steal that Pysander, and all the other agitators were forever raising revolutions. Well and good, but they'll never get another drachma here.
What do you propose to do then, pray?
You ask me that. Why, we propose to administer the treasure of ourselves.
You do?
What is there in that to surprise you? Do we not administer the budget of household expenses?
But that is not the same thing.
How so not the same thing?
It is the treasury supplies the expenses of the war.
That's our first principle. No war.
What? And the safety of the city?
We will provide for that.
You?
Yes, we.
What a sorry business.
Yes, we are going to save you, whether you like it or not.
Oh, the impudence of the creatures.
You seem annoyed, but it has to be done, nevertheless.
But it is the very height of iniquity.
We are going to save you, my good man.
But if I don't want to be saved?
By all the more reason.
But what a notion to concern yourselves with questions of peace and war.
We will explain our idea.
Out with it then, quick, or...
Listen, and never a moment, please.
Oh, it is too much for me. I cannot keep my temper.
Then look out for yourself. You have more to fear than we have.
Oh, stop your croaking, you old crow. Now you, say what you have to say.
Willingly. All the long time the war has lasted, we have endured the modest silence all you men did. You never allowed us to open our lips. We were far from satisfied, for we knew how things were going. Often in our homes, we would hear you discussing, upside down and inside out, some important turn of affairs. Then, with sad hearts but smiling lips, we would ask you, well, in today's assembly, did they vote peace? But,
mind your own business.
The husband would growl.
Hold your tongue, please.
And we would say no more.
I would not have held my tongue, though, not I.
You would have been reduced to silence by blows then.
Well, for my part, I would say no more. But presently, I would come to know you had arrived at some fresh decision more fatally foolish than ever. Oh, my dear man, I would say, what madness next? But he would only look at me, askance, and say,
just weave your web, please, else your cheeks will smart for hours. War is man's business.
Bravo. Well said indeed.
How now, wretched man? Not to let us contend against your follies was bad enough. But presently we heard you asking out loud in the open street, is there never a man left in Athens? And no, not one, not one, you were assured in reply. Then we made up our minds without more delay to make common cause to save Greece. Open your ears to our wise counsels and hold your tongues, and we may put the things on a better footing.
You put things indeed. Oh, this is too much. The insolence of the creatures.
Be still.
May I die 1,000 deaths ere I obey one who wears a veil.
If that's all that troubles you, here, take my veil, wrap it around your head, and hold your tongue.
Yeah.
Basket, put on a girdle, card wool, munch beans. The war shall be women's.
Lay aside your water pots. We will guard them. We will help our friends and companions. For myself, I will never weary of the dance. My knees will never grow stiff with fatigue. I will brave everything with my dear allies, on whom nature has lavished virtue, grace, boldness, cleverness, and whose wisely directed energy is going to save the state. Oh, my good gallant Lysistrata, and all my friends, be ever like a bundle of nettles. Never let your anger slacken. The winds of fortune blow our way.
May gentle love and the sweet Cyprian queen shower seductive charms on our breasts and our thighs. If only we may stir so amorous a feeling among the men, that they stand as firm as sticks, we shall indeed deserve the name of peacemakers among the Greeks.
How will that be, pray?
To begin with, We shall not see you any more, running like mad fellows to the market holding lance in fist.
That will be something gained. Anyway, Captain Goddess it will.
Now we see them, mixed up with saucepans and kitchen stuff, armed to the teeth, looking like wild Corribans.
Why, of course, that's what brave men should do.
Oh, but what a funny sight! To behold a man wearing a Gorgon's bead buckler coming along to buy fish.
The other day in the market, I saw a fine lark with flowing ringlets. He was on horseback and was pouring into his helmet the broth he had just bought at an old dame's still. There was a Thracian warrior, too, who was brandishing his lance like Tyreus in the play. He had scared a good woman selling figs into a perfect panic and was gobbling up all her ripest fruit.
And how, pray, would you propose to restore peace and order to all of the countries of Greece?
It's the easiest thing in the world.
Come, tell us how. I am curious to know.
When we are winding thread, and it is tangled, we pass the spool across and through the skein, now this way, now that way. Even so, to finish off the war, we shall send embassies hither and thither and everywhere to disentangle matters.
And is it with your yarn and your skins and your spools you intend to appease so many bitter enmities, you silly women?
If only you had common sense, you would always do in politics the same as we do in our yarn.
Come, how is that, eh?
First, we wash the yarn to separate the grease and filth. Do the same with all bad citizens. Sort them out and drive them forth with rods. They are the refuse of the city. Then, for all such as come crowding up in search of employments and offices, we must card them thoroughly. Then, to bring them all to the same standard, pitch them pell-mell into the same basket, resident aliens or no, allies, debtors to the states, all mixed up together. Then, as for our colonies, you must think of them as so many isolated hanks. Find the ends of the separate threads, draw them to the center here, wind them into one, make one great hank of the lot, out of which the public can weave itself a good stout tunic.
Is it not a sin and a shame to see them carding and winding the state, these women who have neither art nor part in the burdens of the war?
What? Wretched man! Why, it's far heavier burden to us than you. In the first place, we bear sons who go off to fight far away from Athens.
Enough said. Do not recall sad and sorry memories.
Then secondly, instead of enjoying the pleasures of love and making the best of our youth and beauty, we are left to languish far from our husbands, who are all with the army, but say no more of ourselves. What afflicts me is to see our girls growing old in lonely grief.
Don't the men grow old too?
That's not the same thing. When the soldier returns from the wars, even though he has white hair, he very soon finds a young wife. But a woman has only one summer. If she does not make a hay while the sun shines, no one will afterwards have anything to say to her. And she spends her days consulting oracles that never send her a husband.
But the old man can still get but the old man can still get an erection.
But you, why don't you get done with it and die? You're rich. Go buy yourself a beer, and I will knead you a honey cake for Cerberus. Here, take this garland.
She drenches him with water.
And this one too.
Drenches him with water.
And these fillets.
She drenches
What
him
else
with
do you
water.
need? What else do you need? Step aboard the boat. Charon is waiting for you. You're keeping him from pushing off.
Oh, to treat me so scurvily, what an insult! I will go show myself to my fellow magistrates, just as I am.
What? Are you blaming us for not having exposed you according to custom? Nay, console yourself. We will not fail to offer up the third day sacrifice for you, first thing in the morning.
Awake, friends of freedom! Let us hold ourselves ready to act. I suspect a mighty peril. I foresee another tyranny like Hippias's. I am sore afraid the Laconians assembled here with Cleisthenes have, by a stratagem of war, stirred up these women, enemies of the gods, to seize upon our treasury and the funds whereby I lived. It is not a sin and a shame for them to interfere in advising the citizens, to prate of shields and lances, and to ally themselves with Laconians. Fellows, I trust no more than I would so many famished wolves. The whole thing, my friends, is nothing but an attempt to re-establish tyranny. But I will never submit. I will be on my guard for the future. I will always carry a blade hidden under myrtle boughs. I will post myself in the public square under arms, shoulder to shoulder with Aristophanes. And now, to make a start, I must just break a few of that cursed old jade's teeth yonder.
Nay, never play the brave man, else when you go back home, your own mother won't know you. But dear friends and allies, first let us lay our burdens down. Then, citizens all, hear what I have to say. I have useful counsel to give our city, which deserves it well at my hands, for the brilliant distinctions it has lavished on my girlhood. At 7 years of age, I carried the sacred vessels. At 10, I pounded the barley for the altar of Athene. Next, clad in a robe of yellow silk, I played the bear to Artemis at the Brorania. Presently, when I was grown up, a tall, handsome maiden, they put a necklace of dried figs about my neck, and I was one of the Canaphori. So surely I am bound to give my best advice to Athens. What matters that I was born a woman if I can cure your misfortunes? I pay my share of tolls and taxes by giving men to the state. But you miserable graybeards, you contribute nothing to the public charges. On the contrary, you have wasted the treasure of our forefathers, as it was called, the treasure amassed in the days of the Persian wars. You pay nothing at all in return, and into the bargain you endanger our lives and liberties by your mistake. Have you one word to say for yourselves? Ha! Don't irritate me, you there, or I'll lay my slipper across your jaws, and it's pretty heavy.
Outrage upon outrage. Things are going from bad to worse. Let us punish the minxes, every one of us that has balls to boast of. Come, off with our tunics, for a man must savor of manhood. Come, my friends, let us strip naked from head to foot. Courage, I say, we who in our day garrisoned Lysistrata. Let us be young again and shake off old. If we give them the least hold over us, that's the end. Their audacity will know no bounds. We will see them building ships and fighting sea fights like Artemisia. And if they want to mount and ride as cavalry, we had best cashier their knights, for indeed women excel in riding and have fine, firm seat for the gallop. Just think of all those squadrons of Amazons Mycon has painted for us, engaged in hand-to-hand combat with men. Come then, we must fit collars to all these willing necks.
By the blessed goddesses, if you anger me, I will let loose the beast of my evil passions, and a very hailstorm of blows will set you yelling for help. Come, dames, off with your tunics, and quick's the word. Women must smell the smell of women in the throes of passion. Now just you dare to measure strength with me, old graybeard, and I warrant you, you'll never eat garlic or black beans anymore. No, not a word. My anger is at boiling point, and I'll do with you what the beetle did with the eagle's eggs. I laugh at your threats, so long as I have on my side Lampito here, and the noble Theban, my dear Ismenia. Pass decree on decree, you can do us no hurt, you wretch abhorred of all your fellows. Why, only yesterday, on occasion of the feast of Hecate, I asked my neighbors of Boeotia for one of their daughters, for whom my girls have a lively liking, a fine fat eel to wit, and if they did not refuse, all along of your silly decrees, we shall never cease to suffer the like, till someone gives you a neat trip up and breaks your neck for you. You, Lysistrata, you who are leader of our glorious enterprise, why do I see you coming towards me with so gloomy an air?
It's the behavior of these naughty women. It's the female heart and female weakness that so discourage me.
Tell us what is it?
I only tell the simple truth.
What has happened so disconcerting? Come, tell your friend.
The thing is so hard to tell, yet so impossible to conceal.
Never seek to hide any ill that has befallen our cause.
To blurt it out in a word, we want laying.
Oh, Zeus! Zeus!
What use calling upon Zeus? The thing is, even as I say, I cannot stop them any longer from lusting after the man. They're all for deserting. The first I caught was slipping out by the postern gate near the cave of Pan. Another was letting herself down by a rope and pulley. A third was busy preparing her escape, while a fourth, perched on a bird's back, was just taking wing for Orsilus's house when I seized her by the hair. One and all, they are inventing excuses to be off home. Look, there goes one, trying to get out. Hello there, whither away so fast?
I want to go home. I have some Malaysian wool in the house, which is getting all eaten up by the worms.
You and your worms. Go back, I say.
I will return immediately, I swear I will, by the two goddesses. I have only just to spread it out on the bed.
You shall not do anything of the kind. I say, you shall not go.
Must I leave my wool to spoil then?
Yes, if need be.
Unhappy woman that I am, alas for my flax. I've left it at home on strip.
So here's another trying to escape to go home and strip her flax.
Oh, I swear by the goddess of light, the instant I have put it in condition, I will come straight back.
You shall do nothing of the kind. If once you began, others would want to follow suit.
Oh, goddess divine Alithia, patroness of women in labor, stay the birth, till I have reached a spot less hallowed than Athene's mount.
What mean you by these silly tales?
I'm going to have a child now, this minute.
But you were not pregnant yesterday.
Well, I am today. Oh, let me go in search of the midwife. Lysistrata, quick, quick.
What is this fable you are telling me? Ah, what have you got there so hard?
A male child.
No, by Aphrodite, nothing of the sort. Why, it feels like something hollow, a pot or a cattle. Oh, you silly creature. If you have not got the sacred helmet of the palace, and you said you were with child,
And so I am, by Zeus, I am.
then why this helmet, pray?
For fear my pains would seize me in the Acropolis. I mean to lay my eggs in this helmet as the doves do.
Excuses and pretenses, every word. The thing is as clear as daylight. Anyway, you must stay here. Now till the 5th day, your day of purification.
I cannot sleep any more in the Acropolis. Now I have seen the snake that guards the temple. Oh, and those awful owls with their dismal hooting. I cannot get a wink of rest, and I'm just dying of fatigue.
You wicked women, have done with your falsehoods. You want your husbands, that's plain enough. But don't you think they want you just as badly? They're spending dreadful nights. Oh, I know that well enough. But hold out, my dears, hold out. A little more patience, and the victory will be ours. An oracle promises us success, if only we remain united. Shall I repeat the words?
Yes, tell us what the oracle declares.
Silence then. Now, when us the swallows, fleeing before the hoopies, shall have all flocked together in one place, and shall refrain them from all amorous commerce, then will be the end of all the ills of life. Yea, and Zeus, who doth thunder in the skies, shall set above what was earth below.
What? Shall the men be underneath?
But if dissension do arise among the swallows, and they take wing from the holy temple, it will be said there is never a more wanton bird in all of the world.
Ye gods, the prophecy is clear.
Nay, never let us be cast down by calamity. Let us be brave to bear, and go back to our posts. It would be shameful indeed not to trust the promises of the oracle.
They all go back to the Acropolis.
I want to tell you a fable they used to relate to me when I was a little boy. This is it. Once upon a time, there was a young man called Melanion who hated the thought of marriage so sorely that he flew away to the wilds. So he dwelt in the mountains, wove himself nets, and caught hares. He never came back. He had such a horror of women. As chaste as Melanion, we loathe the jades as much as he did. You dear old woman, I would fain kiss you.
I will set you crying without onions.
and give you a sound kicking.
What a dense forest you have there.
So was Myrrhine, one of the bushiest of men of this side. His backside was all black, and he terrified his enemies as much as Phormio.
I want to tell you a fable too, to match yours about Melanion. Once there was a certain man called Timon, a tough customer and a whimsical, a true son of the Furies with a face that seemed to glare out of the thorn bush. He withdrew from the world because he couldn't abide bad men. After vomiting 1,000 curses at them, he had a holy horror of ill-conditioned fellows, but he was mighty tender towards women. Suppose I up and broke your jaw for you.
I am not a bit afraid of you.
Suppose I let fly a good kick at you.
I should see your thing then.
You would see that for all my age, it is very well plucked.
Who there? Come quick, come quick.
What is it? Why these cries?
A man, a man. I see him approaching, all afire with flames of love. Oh, divine Queen of Cyprus, Paphos, Cythera, I pray you, still be propitious to our enterprise.
Where is he, this unknown foe?
Over there, besides the temple of Demeter.
Yes, indeed, I see him, but who is he?
Look, look. Do any of you recognize him?
I do. It's my husband, Cinesias.
To work then. Be it your task to inflame and torture and torment him. Seductions, caresses, provocations, refusals, try every means, grant every favor, always accepting what is forbidden by our oath on the wine bowl.
Have no fear, I'll do it.
Well, I shall stay here and help you cajole the man and set his passions aflame. The rest of you withdraw.
Cinesias enters in obvious and extreme sexual excitement. A slave follows him, carrying an infant.
Oh, I am tortured by spasm and rigid convulsion. Oh, I am packed on the wheel. Oh.
Who is this that dares to pass our lines?
It is I!
What, a man?
Yes, very much so.
Get out.
But who are you that thus repulses me?
The sentinel of the day.
Oh, for God's sake, call Myrrhine.
Call Myrrhine, you say? And who are you?
I am her husband, Cinesias, son of Paeon.
Ah, good day, my dear friend. Your name is not unknown amongst us. Your wife has it forever on her lips, and she never touches an egg or an apple without saying, "This is for Cinesias."
Really and truly?
Yes, indeed, by Aphrodite. And if you fall to talking of man, quick your wife declares, "Oh, all the rest, they are good for nothing compared with Cinesias."
Please, please go and call her for me.
And what will you give me for my trouble?
Anything I've got, if you like.
As he points to the evidence of his condition.
I will give you what I have here.
Well, well, I will
give
tell
you what
her to
I have
come.
here.
She enters
Well,
the
well.
Acropolis.
Quick, oh, be quick. Oh, be quick. Life has much for me since she left my house. I am sad when I go indoors, and all seems so empty. My victuals have lost their savor, and all because of this erection I can't get rid of.
I love him. Oh, I love him, but he won't be let himself be loved. No, I shall not come. I shall
Hey,
not come.
little darling Myrrhine, what are you saying? Come down to me quick.
No, indeed, not I.
I call you Myrrhine. Myrrhine, please come.
Why should you call me? You do not want me.
Not want you. Why? Stick with desire.
Goodbye.
She turns as if to go.
Myrrhine, in our child's name, hear me. At any rate, hear the child. Little lad, call up your mother.
Mama, mama, mama.
Mama! Mama!
There, listen. Don't pity the poor child. It's 6 days now. You never fed the child.
Oh, darling, your father takes mighty little care of you.
Come now, dearest, come down.
What a thing it is to be a mother. Well, we must come down, I suppose.
Myrrhine approaches.
Why? how much younger and prettier she looks, and how she looks at me so lovingly. Her cruelty and scorn only redouble my passion.
You are as sweet as your father is provoking. Let me kiss you, my treasure, mother's darling.
Ah, what a bad thing it is to let yourself be led away by other women. Yourself and again.
Hands off, sir.
Everything is going to rack and ruin in the house.
I don't care.
But your web that's all being picked to pieces by the cocks and hens. Don't you care for that?
Precious little.
And Aphrodite, whose mysteries you have not celebrated for so long.
No. At least not till a sound treaty puts an end to the war.
Well, if we should, we'll make it. We'll make it your treaty.
Well and good. When that's done, I will come home. Till then, I am bound by an oath.
At any rate, lie with me for a little while.
No. But just the same, I can't say I don't love you.
You love me? Then why refuse to lie with me, my little girl, my sweet Myrrhine?
Oh, you must be joking. What? Before a child?
Let us carry the lad home. There, you see, the child is gone. There's nothing to hinder us. Won't you lie down now? Huh?
But, miserable man, where? Where?
In the pen. Nothing could be better.
But how shall I purify myself before going back into the citadel?
Not easy. You can wash at the cliff.
But my oath, do you want me to perjure myself?
Take all responsibility. Don't worry.
Well, I'll be off then and find a bed for us.
Oh, there's no point in lie on the ground.
No. Even though you are bad, I don't like your lying on the bare earth.
She goes back into the Acropolis.
How the deep loves me.
She comes back with the cot.
Come, get to bed, quick. I am going to undress. But oh dear, we must have a mattress.
A mattress! Oh, no, never mind about that.
No, by Artemis. Lie on the bare sacking? Never. That would be squalid.
Oh, kiss me.
Wait a minute.
She leaves him again.
Hurry up!
She comes back with the mattress.
Here's a mattress. Lie down. I am just going to undress. Oh, but you've got no pillow.
I don't want one either.
But I do.
She leaves him again.
Oh, good God, she treats you just like Heracles.
She comes back with a pillow.
There. Lift your head, dear.
Wondering what else she could tantalize him with to herself.
Is that all, I wonder?
My treasure.
I am unfastening my girdle. But remember what you promised me about making peace. Mind you keep your word.
Yes.
Why, you have no blanket.
My God! What I want is to make love.
She goes out
Never
again.
fear. Directly. I'll be back in no time.
This will kill with her.
She comes back with the blanket.
Now, get yourself up.
I've got this up!
Wouldn't you like me to scent you?
No, by Apollo, no! Please don't!
Yes, by Aphrodite, but I will, whether you like it or not.
She goes out again.
God, I wish she'd hurry up and get through with all that.
She comes back with a flask of perfume.
Hold out your hand. Now rub it in.
Oh, in Apollo's name, I don't like the smell of it, but perhaps will improve when it's well rubbed in. It's not some smack of the marriage bed.
Oh, dear. Oh, what a scatterbrain I am if I haven't gone and brought Rhodian perfumes. Oh!
Never mind, dearest. Let me go now.
You really don't mean that.
She goes.
I'm the man who invented perfumes!
She comes back with another flask.
Here, take this bottle.
I have a better one all ready for you, darling. Come, you provoking creature, to bed with you. Don't bring a thing.
Coming. I'm just slipping off my shoes. Dear boy, will you vote for peace?
She runs away.
I'm a dead man. She's killing me. She has gone and left me in torment. I must have someone to lay. I must. Me. The loveliest of women has chosen and cheated me. Poor little lad. How am I give you what you want so badly? Where is Penelopex? Quick, man! Get him under a stew!
Poor miserable wretch, balked in your amorousness. What tortures are yours? Ah, you fill me with pity. Could any man's back and loins stand such a strain? He stands stiff and rigid, and there's never a wench to help him.
Ye gods in heaven, the pain I suffer!
Well, there it is. It's her doing, that abandoned hussy.
No, rather say the sweetest, dearest.
He departs.
Ah, that dearest darling? No, that hussy, say I. Zeus, thou god of the skies, canst not let loose a hurricane to sweep them all up into the air and whirl them around, then drop them down and crash, impale them on the point of this man's tool.
A Spartan herald enters. He shows signs of being in the same condition as Cinesias.
Say, where shall I find the Senate and the Fraternes? I am bearer of dispatches.
An Athenian magistrate enters.
No!
Are you a man or a priapus?
Oh, don't be stupid. I am a herald, of course. I swear I am, and I come from Sparta about making peace. Oh.
But look, you are hiding a lance under your clothes, surely.
Oh, no, nothing of the sort. Oh.
Then why do you turn away like that and hold your cloak out from your body? Have you got swellings in the groin from your...
Oh, by the twin brethren, the man's an old maniac. Oh.
Oh, but you've got an erection, you nude fellow.
Oh, I tell you no, but enough of this foolery.
Well, what is it you have there, then?
A Lacedaemonian in a tail.
Oh, indeed. A sky tail, is it? Well, speak out frankly. I know all about these matters.
Oh.
How are things going at Sparta now?
Why, everything is turned upside down in Sparta, and all the allies have erections. We simply must have Helene.
What is the reason of it all? Is it the god Pan's doing?
No, it's all the work of Lampito and the women who are acting as her instigation. They have kicked the men out from between their thighs.
But what are you doing about it?
We are at our wits' end. We walk bent double, just as if we were counting lanterns in a wind. The jades have sworn we shall not so much as touch them till we have all agreed to conclude peace.
I see now. It's a general conspiracy embracing all Greece. Go back to Sparta and bid them send envoys. Oh my God. Plenipotentiary to treat for peace. I will urge your senators myself to name plenipotentiaries from us and to persuade them. Why, I will show them my own tool.
Oh, what could be better? I'll fly at your command.
They go out in opposite directions.
No wild beast is there, no flame of fire more fierce and untamable than woman. The leopard is less savage and shameless.
And yet you dare to make war upon me, wretch, when you might have me for your most faithful friend and ally.
And never, never can my hatred cease toward women.
Well, suit yourself. Still, I cannot bear to leave you all naked as you are. Folks would laugh at you. Come, I'm going to put this tunic on you.
You are right, upon my word. It was only in my confounded fit of rage that I took it off.
Now, at any rate, you look like a man, and they won't make fun of you. If you had not offended me so badly, I would take out that nasty insect you have in your eye for you.
So that was what was annoying me so. Look, here's a ring. Just remove the insect and show it to me. By Zeus, it has been hurting my eye for a long time now.
Well, I agree, though your manners are not over and above pleasant. Oh, what a huge, great gnat! Just look! It's from Trichlorithus, for sure.
1,000 thanks! The creature was digging a regular well in my eye. Now that it's gone, my tears can flow freely.
I will wipe them for you, bad, naughty man though you are. Now, just one kiss.
A kiss? Certainly not.
Oh, just one, whether you like it or not.
Oh, these confounded women, how they do cajole us. How true the saying, 'tis impossible to live with the baggages, 'tis impossible to live without 'em. Come, let us agree for the future not to regard each other any more as enemies. And to clinch the bargain, let us sing a choric song.
We desire
Athenians to speak
ill of no man,
but on the
contrary, to say much good of everyone,
and to do
the like.
We have had enough of misfortunes and calamities. If there is any man
or woman who wants a bit of money,
2
or 3 minas or so, well, our purse is full. If only peace is concluded,
the
borrower will not have to pay back.
Also,
I'm inviting to supper a few Caristian friends who are excellently well qualified. I have still a drop of good soup left, and a young porker I'm going to kill, and the flesh will be sweet and tender. I shall expect you at my house today, but first away to the bath with you. You and your children. Then come all of you.
Ask
no one leave,
but walk straight up
as if you were at home.
Never fear. The
door will be
shut in your faces. Ah, Here come the envoys from Sparta with their long flowing beards. Why, you would think they wore pigsties between their thighs.
Enter the Laconian envoys, afflicted like their herald.
Hail to you, first of all, Laconians, then tell us how you fare.
Oh, no need for many words. You can see what a state we are in.
Alas, the situation grows more and more strained. The intensity of the thing is simply frightful.
Oh, it's beyond belief. But to work, summon your commissioners and let us patch up the best peace we can.
Ah, our men too, like wrestlers in the arena, cannot endure a rag over their bellies. It's an athlete's malady, which only exercise can remedy.
The magistrate returns. He too now has an evident reason to desire peace.
Can anybody tell us where Lysistrata is? Surely she will have some compassion on our condition.
Look, he has the very same complaint. Don't you feel a strong nervous tension in the morning?
Yes, and the dreadful, dreadful torture it is. Unless peace is made very soon, we shall find no recourse but to make love to the Cleonice.
Take my advice and arrange your clothes as best you can. One of the fellows who mutilated the Herme might see you.
Right, by Zeus.
He endeavors, not too successfully, to conceal his condition.
Right, by your story, there I will put on my tunic.
Oh, what a terrible state we are in. Greetings to you, Laconian fellow sufferers.
My boy, what a terrible thing it would have been if these fellows had seen us just now when we were on full stand.
Speak out, Laconians. What is it brings you here?
We have come to treat for peace.
Well said. We are of the same mind. Better call Lysistrata, then. She is the only person who will bring us to terms.
Yes, and Lysistratus into the bargain, if you will.
Needless to call her, she has heard your voices, and here she comes.
She comes out of the Acropolis.
Hail, boldest and bravest of womankind. The time has come to show yourself in turn uncompromising and conciliatory, exacting and yielding, haughty and condescending. Call up all your skill and artfulness. Lo, the foremost men in Hellas, seduced by your fascinations, are agreed to entrust you with the task of ending their quarrels.
It will be an easy task, if only they refrain from mutual indulgence in masculine love. If they do, I shall know the fact at once. Now, where is the gentle goddess Peace? Lead hither to Laconian envoys. But look you, no roughness or violence. Our husbands always behaved so boorishly. Bring them to me with smiles, as women should. If any refuse to give you his hand, then take hold of his tool. Bring up the Athenians too. You may lead them either way. Laconians approach, and you Athenians on my other side. Now hearken all. I am but a woman, but I have a good common sense. Nature has endowed me with discriminating judgment, which I have yet further developed, thanks to the wise teaching of my father and the elders of the city. First, I must bring a reproach against you that applies equally to both sides. At Olympia and Thermopylae and Delphi, and a score of other places too numerous to mention, you celebrate before the same altars ceremonies common to all Hellenists. Yet you go cutting each other's throats and sacking Hellenic cities, when all the while the barbarian yonder is threatening you? That is my first point.
The magistrate devouring the goddess with his eyes.
Good God, this erection is killing me.
Now it is you I address myself, Laconians. Have you forgotten how Pericleidas, your own countryman, sat a suppliant before our altars? How pale he was in his purple robes. He had come to crave an army of us. It was the time when Messenia was pressing you sore, and the sea god was shaking the earth. Cimon marched to your aid at the head of 4,000 hoplites and saved Lacedaemon. And after such a service as that, you ravage the soil of your benefactors.
They do wrong, very wrong, Lysistrata.
Oh, we do wrong, very wrong. Oh, great gods, what a lovely bottom piece has.
And now, a word to the Athenians. Have you no memory left of how, in the days when you wore the tunic of slaves, the Laconians came, spear in hand, and slew a host of Thessalians and partisans of Hippas the tyrant? They, and they only, fought on your side on that eventful day. They delivered you from despotism, and thanks to them, our nation could change the short tunic of slave for the long cloak of the free man.
I have never seen a woman of more gracious dignity.
I have never seen a woman with a finer body.
Bound by such ties of mutual kindness, how can you bear to be at war? Stop! Stay the hateful strife! Be reconciled! What hinders you?
We are quite ready, if they will give us back our rampart.
What rampart, my dear man?
Silos, which we have been asking for and craving for ever so long.
In the sea god's name, you shall never have it.
Agree, my friends, agree.
But then, what city shall we be able to stir up in trouble in?
Ask for another place in exchange.
Ah, that's the ticket. Well, to begin with, give us Echinus and Maliac, Gulf adjoining, and the 2 legs of Megara.
No, by the Dioscuri, surely not all that, my dear sir.
Come to terms. Never make a difficulty of 2 legs more or less.
Well, I'm ready to strip down and get to work right now.
And I also. Too young it to start with.
That's just what you shall do. Once peace is signed, so if you really want to make it, go consult your allies about the matter.
What allies? I should like to know. Why, we are all erected. There is no one who is not mad to be mating. What we all want is to be in bed with our wives. How should our allies fail to second our project?
And ours too, for certain, sure.
The Chrystians, first and foremost by the gods.
Well said indeed. Now, go and purify yourselves for entering the Acropolis, where the women invite you to supper. We will empty our provision baskets to do you honor. At table, you will exchange oaths and pledges. Then each man will go home with his wife.
Come along then, and be as quick as may be.
Lead on, I'm your man.
Quick, quick, the word, I say.
They follow Lysistrata into the Acropolis.
Embroidered stuffs, and dainty tunics, and flowing gowns, and golden ornaments. Everything I have, I offer them to you with all my heart. Take them all for your children, for your girls, in case they are chosen canaphori. I invite you, everyone, to enter. Come in and choose whatever you will. There is nothing so well fastened. You cannot break the seals and carry away the contents. Look about you everywhere. You won't find a blessed thing unless you have sharper eyes than mine. And if any of you lacks corn to feed his slaves and his young and numerous family, why, I have the few grains of wheat at home. Let him take what I have to give a big 12-pound loaf included. So let my poorer neighbors all come with bags and wallets. My man Manus shall give them corn, but I warn them not to come near my door, but beware the dog.
Magistrate enters and begins knocking at the gate.
I say, you, open the door. Go your way, I tell you. Why, bless me, they're sitting down now. I shall have to purge him with my torch to make him stir. What impudence! I won't take this. Oh, well, if it's absolutely necessary, just to please you, we'll have to take the trouble.
I'll share it with you.
He brandishes the torch he's carrying, and the chorus of women depart. The chorus of men follow short after.
No, no, you must be off, or I'll tear your hair out. I will. Be off, I say, and don't annoy the Laconian envoys. They're just coming out from the banquet hall.
Such a merry banquet I've never seen before. The Laconians were simply charming. After the drink is in, why, we're all wise men. Every one of us.
It's only natural, to be sure. For sober, we are all fools. Take my advice, my fellow countrymen. Our envoys should always be drunk. We go to Sparta. We enter the city sober. Why? We must be picking a quarrel directly. We don't understand what they say to us. We imagine a lot. They don't say it all. And we report home all wrong, all topsy-turvy. But look you, today it's quite different. We've enchanted whatever happens. We're enchanted whatever happens. Instead of Kutagora, they might sing us Telemon. And we should clap our hands just the same. A perjury or two into the bargain, why? What does that matter to merry companions in their cups?
The two choruses return.
But here they are back again. Will you be gone, you loathing scoundrels?
The choruses retire again.
Here's the company coming out already.
Two choruses, one Laconian and one Athenian, enter, dancing to the music of flutes. They are followed by the women under the leadership of Lysistrata.
My dear sweet friend, come, take your flute in hand. I would fain dance and sing my best in honor of the Athenians and our noble selves. Yes, take your flute in God's name. The delight we see him dance. Oh, Nansanine, inspire those men, inspire my muse, who knows our exploits and those of the Athenians. With a godlike ardor did they swoop down at Artemisium on the ships of the Medes. What a glorious victory was that! For the soldiers of Leonidas, they were like fierce boars whetting their tusks. They saw their sweat ran down their faces and drenched all their limbs. For verily the Persians were as many as the sands of the seashore. Oh, Artemis, huntress queen, whose arrows pierced the denizens of the woods, virgin goddesses, be thou favorable to the peace we here conclude. Through thee, may our hearts may be long united. May this treaty draw close forever the bonds of a happy friendship. No more wiles and stratagems, aid us, maid and huntress.
All is for the best. And now, Laconians, take your wives away home with you. And you, Athenians, yours. May husband live happily with wife, and wife with husband. dance to celebrate our bliss, and let us be heedful to avoid like mistakes in the future.
Appear, appear, dancers, and the grace is with you. Let us invoke, one and all, Artemis and her heavenly brother, gracious Apollo, patron of the dance, and Dionysus, whose eye darts flame as he steps forward surrounded by the Maenad maids, and Zeus, who wields the flashing lightning, and his august thrice blessed spouse, the Queen of Heaven. Let us invoke, and all the other gods, calling all the inhabitants of the skies to witness the noble peace now concluded under the fond auspices of Aphrodite. Iopean, Iopean, dance, leap, as in honor of a victory won. Ioi, Ioi, Iye, Iye.
And you, our Laconian guests, sing us a new and inspiring strain. Leave once more the noble height of Tagetus, muse of Lacedaemon, and join us in singing the praises of Apollo, of Amyclae, and Athene, of the brazen house, and the gallant twins of kind Darius, whose practice arms on the banks of the Eurotas river. Haste, haste hither with nimble-footed pace. Let us sing Sparta, the city that delights in choruses divinely sweet and graceful dances, when our maidens bound lightly by the river's side, like frolicsome fillies, beating the ground with rapid steps and shaking their long locks in the wind, as Bacchanites wave their wands in the wild revels of the wine god. At their head, O chaste and beauteous goddess, daughter of Leto, Artemis, do thou lead thee song and dance. With a fillet binding thy waving tresses, appear in thy loveliness, leap like a fawn, strike thy divine hands together to animate the dance, and aid us to renown the valiant goddess of battles, great Athene of the brazen house.
All depart, singing and dancing. The end.
Hurrah, hurrah for another drink, hurrah, bitch.
That's a double drink, baby.
Awesome.
I can't do
That was fun.
Drink to a piece.
Really good read, guys.
Is Rachel still?
Thank you.
Oh, it was so much fun. Thank you for organizing this drinking game.
That's
Good
good.
for you.
Oh,
Hey,
it's more Marilena.
Marilena, thank you for organizing and making this shit possible. Cheers to you, man. I feel like